Okay, now that you've had time to go through and read your prompt or read your articles, how many of you kind of feel like your introductory statement that you wrote, you need to change it a little bit? Perhaps you found some more evidence in there that will back up what you wanted to say, okay? Now, remember, this is a rough draft process, so that means it's not going to be perfect, but we want to be what? As close to it as we can be, all right? So, when we are doing the typing on the MIS test, I would take a few minutes, and after I've read, or as you read through the articles online, you would highlight on there and make changes, or you would highlight as you read and find evidence from your text that will back up what you want to do. Now, the reason I had you go ahead first and write your introduction is, or before you read the articles, is because I wanted to see if you would change your mind in it, okay? Or perhaps it may help you to kind of form an idea and then read the text, and then you can back it up with more evidence, okay? Just a show of hands, how many of you, as you read through it, you begin to kind of change your mind a little bit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's a bunch of you. Change your mind on this. So, what would you do in your introduction now? Yes, ma'am.
Change it.
How would you change it?
What you got to right now, if you read the stories, you would change it from what you have now to how you feel now about the stories after you read.
Okay, so you could go back and rewrite it and put in how you feel about it now. Yes, ma'am.
Kind of like Kelsey said, I would change it up a little bit. I would leave my first sentence, but I add a few more. I would change some of the other ones about it.
Yes, ma'am.
I would support my thesis with better evidence.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
I would change it because I thought that they were bad since you was just sitting inside all day looking at a TV screen. And now that I have like facts and evidence to change it, I think they're good.
Okay. All right, so now we look at the next step in writing. We've got our introductory statement. I want to go back just a second. What do we add to this section? I told you in the video before. Yes, ma'am.
The main things you will be writing
The
about.
main things you're going to be writing about. Okay? So let's say if there are 4 body paragraph boxes like we see in this example, like the one that I provided you yesterday and today, if you saw 3 of those, how many evidence do you think you would need to put up here?
3.
At least 3. Okay? And so this paragraph is going to have your thesis statement you would write for this, the first point. What does I stand for?
Important evidence.
Okay, it stands for important evidence. Okay, it says 3 out the side of it. What does that mean? Okay, you're going to have 3 paragraphs about that. Okay, and then D stands for what? Detailed explanation. Okay, so let's talk about this. Do you think, after reading these articles, that you have more information that you can add to your paragraph?
Yes.
Okay. Could you go in and find some more details?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was hoping for today, that we could do that. All right? So our next step would be that quickly we would go through and plan this out, sketch out, write some notes. You would sketch out or write out your thesis statement there for this first paragraph. And then you would add important evidence and your details right there. Okay? And you would go through and do all this for your first paragraph. What does E stand for?
Ending.
Ending. What does ending mean? Yes, sir.
It's like you restate your topic, like the T part.
Okay, you rewrite the thesis statement for this paragraph. So you're going to kind of wind it down to this paragraph and lead into your next. What do we call that when we move from one thought to the next? Yes, ma'am. A transition. Thank you. I have a bunch of hands on that one. Transition means that we change from one idea into the next. Okay, you can say next or finally, just a word that will indicate to the reader that, hey, I'm moving to the next topic. Okay? So, again, we have BP2, which is body paragraph number 2. It's the same concept as we did just a second ago. And then, since I could add a third box there, and you would write a third paragraph. Okay? At least three paragraphs. And then your conclusion. What do we do with conclusion? Yes, sir. Okay, you go back and restate the thesis for your whole entire for your whole entire article, don't you? Or your essay that you have, okay? So now what I want us to do, we're going to take a few minutes, and I want you to start writing your essay. Okay, how many body paragraphs do you see on that example? All right, so what I want you to do, let's do at least 2 paragraphs for today, just for time's sake. Remember at the beginning of this week, I modeled for you how to do this. Yesterday we did it, we do part of this. Today is what? I do. Okay, so now for this part of our lesson, what you'll do is, I want you to start writing your essay. Now, I want you to think about this too. I'm going to display these in the hallway. I will display your essays in the hallway. So you need to be thinking about your audience as you write. You need to think about, would this be good enough to be put out in the hallway for others to read? Yes, ma'am. The one we do today will go out into the hallway. Okay? So if you need to get an extra sheet of paper, you know where the paper is. You may go get that.